coming out for you guys. Appreciate all the new subscribers I done picked up within the last week. At the end of the day, I keep it real on my channel. So, with that being said, that's why I'm here for you guys. Somebody got to tell the truth, and somebody got to keep it 100. At the end of the day, I'm not worried about no people being mad at me. I ain't worried about responses and all that type of stuff, because at the end of the day, most of the time I don't need to pay attention to none of these dudes, because I stay in more people's mouth than the other way around. So with that being said, let's begin. At the end of the day, people like to hate and people like to diminish what happened, because a lot of people still can't get over the fact that the wrong guy won, or should I say the wrong guy won with the wrong color, at the end of the day. And I'm going to continue to expose these people on YouTube. I'm going to expose these so-called fans. I'm going to expose a lot of these people because they need to be exposed. It was announced earlier this week that Devin Haney versus Vasil Lomachenko did anywhere from 250,000 to 300,000 pay-per-view buys. And that was announced on multiple media outlets. But then you have a couple of people that come out of nowhere and say, oh, I was told, my sources said it only did 130. My sources said it only did 150. Well, at the end of the day, you just have people that just want to, just be negative and talk down, because at the end of the day, they just have some kind of agenda that they just want to push. And that's just basically it. As you guys know, I'll put up a few videos talking about this fight. Now, you have people sitting up here saying it was a travesty to boxing what happened, which is a damn lie. Ain't no travesty to boxing. At the end of the day, Devin Haney won a close, contested fight. And that's just basically the bottom line. But like I said before, people just can't accept the fact that the brother won. The brother instead of the other one. When you could just tell based off how they was presenting the pay-per-view that Vasil Lomachenko was the sentimental favorite, and that a lot of people were rooting for him to win. And the funny thing is, people feel sorry for him, what's going on in his country. That's unfortunate, but what's going on in our country that people have decided to not speak about. America has had serious issues, and that's just real talk. I can't, and I don't mean to sound mean. I don't mean to say this, but it got to be said. I can't sit up here and worry about what's up. I can't sit up here and be worried about what's going on in Ukraine when I got issues with some of the politics and, unfairness that's going on in the country that I reside in. So I have to worry about the states. But at the end of the day, here it is. You had Devin Haney, American fighter. And let's just take out the black part. American fighter, but you had people rooting for the non-American fighter and Vasil Lomachenko, which I'm going to talk about that further. But you got people sitting up here making up their own pay-per-view numbers because they want to get views and they want people to come on these channels trying to dispute what other media is reporting. Devin Haney did very well his first pay-per-view. And obviously it did better than what some of these haters are reporting, because why was so many people talking about this fight? Apparently more people started to basically draw interest in this fight as we got closer to this fight. And then since this fight happened, people been talking about this fight, the controversy surrounding this fight, which to me, I don't see no controversy. At the end of the day, the only controversy surrounding this fight is basically the 10th round, the 10th and 11th round, where one of the judges gave Vasily Lomachenko a round that he clearly dominated. They gave it to Devin Haney. But besides that, that's basically the only issue, because the funny thing is my videos have been up for a week. Everybody knows me. I never shut down the comment section. No matter how stupid or even intelligent somebody may come through and make a comment. I just don't do that. I've never disabled the comment section on my channel ever. But for people that keep insisting that Lomachenko was robbed, they can't even tell me what rounds Lomachenko won other than decisively, or what rounds Lomachenko won other than the 10th and 11th round. So what about the other 10 rounds in the fight? So you basically proving that Devin Haney won that fight, because you can't even tell me what rounds that you think Lomachenko won. Like I said, you guys are easy peasy. You guys are easy work. Once again, I do this. And I'll need to explain something to you guys. I'm not like these other dudes on here. I have my own mind. And I told you again, I don't sit up here and talk this stupid stuff like the rest of these house niggas on here be doing because they want views. And I just want to say something. You guys are gutless punks and you cowards. And like I said, Goodfellas Sports TV was right about y'all. Black people can't stick together for nothing. Like I said, you guys will go beyond the call of duty to defend people that can't even stand y'all black asses. But then you will go against your own for whatever reason. At the end of the day, this is how white power and white supremacy continues, because you be too busy worried about getting acceptance from somebody else other than your own community. I care about what my community think of me and not nobody else. And I've made that very clear the 8 years that I've been on YouTube. And that's just real talk. I'm different. I don't care what so-and-so said on his channel. Oh, well, so-and-so said that he thought that's them. I've said this several times. Just like when a bunch of these low-grade Negroes was trying to get me to become an Errol Spence butt boy, and I wouldn't follow their script. A lot of them turned on me and got mad at me and was taking little shots at me, talking slick and stuff, making their little innuendos and stuff. But that's cool, because I still stand by what I say. And that's just real talk. But here you have people, and I ain't saying their names because, like I said, I ain't giving nobody no free publicity. Not in this particular video. I ain't giving them free publicity. I ain't give you know, and I just not doing that. Not in this particular video. But like I said, you always have people that just hate to see the black man doing good. And the sad part about it is sometimes the people that don't want to see us doing good is people that look like us. And that's the horrible reality that you have to look at when it comes to our community and how damaged we are. Like I said before, Nelly, he was being a cornball, and Lil Boosie, at the end of the day, Lil Boosie was just straight up cooning. And that's the only way you could put it. To sit up there and say that he didn't have Devin Haney when it run around, like I said before, stick to talking to informants. Because you ain't built to talk about boxing, Boosie. And that's just real talk, bro. You was sitting up there cooning. You was doing fake grandstanding. And like I said before, you don't have me fooled. You was sitting up there doing it because what I don't understand about black people, you want to be accepted by racists and white supremacists? That ain't how I roll. I don't want them kind of people on my channel. And that's why they don't come on my channel. And that's just real talk. But to hear these clowns, some of these clowns sitting up here saying, well, I heard it didn't do that. And, you know, so-and-so said like whatever he say is the gospel. So because he say what his sources supposed to have told him, and who is your sources? Like I said, I had heard from several people that this fight sold at least over 200,000. Why you can't believe it? Why can't, and for you to say that the fight didn't sell that good, you basically saying that Vasyl Lomachenko didn't sell. So basically, while you think you diminishing and tearing down Devin Haney, you tearing down your great white hope, or your great white hype, or your white Jesus, or whatever you want to call him. Can't have it both ways. You can't just put it on one person, because like I say, it take two people to make a fight. So if you saying the fight didn't sell good, because of Devin Haney. Well, one can make that argument. It didn't sell because of Vasil Lomachenko. Because keep in mind, Vasil Lomachenko, to a certain degree, he didn't have much of a fan base. But at the end of the day, when you put good marketing and build a buzz up, I will say this much: ESPN could have did a far better job, promoting this fight. They could have did a far better job. But during fight week, they started to, amp it up. And you saw people draw interest in the fight. And at the end of the day, they sold around between 14,500 and 15,000 tickets. So the fight was a sellout. Now, the MGM Grand can hold up to 16,000 at full capacity, but they made 15,000 tickets available, and all of them were sold. So the fight was a success. So stop the cap. Stop the cap. But that, like I said before, people love hating, and you know what I'm saying, hating on black fighters. That's just the bottom line. They just don't want to see us make it. Well, I'm used to this, Dreezy. I've been doing this for a while, man. Look how the black community divided each other in between this Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford thing. But you know who the hell was doing it. I ain't got to say no names. You know who them clowns was. You know who them clowns was. But they want to play these games because their whole channel was basically banking off this fight never happening, so they could try to basically run a smear campaign against Terrence Crawford. And you know who was the ringleader who started all this. So, at the end of the day, that's black people for you. So that's your own community. I mean, we really think ass backwards, and you just got to say it. But my sources, which I heard from several different media outlets, that this fight sold between 250 to 300,000 pay-per-view buys. Because if this fight was a flop, then why is there interest in Devin Haney? Why are people talking about certain fights for Devin Haney? Why is they talking about a super fight with Regis? Why is Tiafimo interested in fighting Devin Haney? Why are they talking about a rematch with Lomachenko if there wasn't no interest if the fight didn't sell? So this is how you know people are lying. But I love doing this to these dudes because I love blowing them out the water. Because like I said before, when this whole Errol Spence thing started, like I said, you knew who the culprits was. But now all of a sudden they trying to play, I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blackity black, y'all. Now all of a sudden they trying to do the black fist based off what happened this past Saturday. This last Saturday. Now all of a sudden, now they Huey P. Newton. Now they H. Rap Brown. Now they Marcus Garvey. So, but just before this fight, you know what I'm saying? You was Damon Wayans, the brother who played on that movie Bamboozle. And if you ain't seen that movie Bamboozle, Damon Wayans played he played one of the biggest coons in cinematic history. I'm talking about that character Damon Wayans played on that movie. And to a certain degree, I wish Spike Lee wouldn't have made that movie because that movie messed Damon Wayans up, even though it was made by a black director. But that movie, Bamboozle, messed Damon Wayans up because Damon Wayans played one of the biggest coons on cinema. Well, that, like I said before, it'll be, like I said, a lot of these niggas on here is view hoes. They will whore themselves for, like I said, I really think some of these dudes on here, these content creators, I really think they would drop the soap if you catch my drift for views and for subscribers. And that's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Devin Haney won the biggest fight of his career. He won fair and square. He fought hard. He fought hard. He dug deep, even when it looked like he was possibly in trouble. And like I keep saying, Devin Haney versus Vasil Lomachenko is the same fight that I saw with Vasil Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, the same fight that I saw with Jermaine Ortiz, where Lomachenko tried to rally in the last quarter of the fight and thought that that could get him a W. And let's just face the fact, the judges saw right through that. And that's the problem. And I think they had been watching tapes of Lomachenko. They wanted Lomachenko to get started early. Devin controlled the fight, the first half of the fight. How in the hell, if you win out of the first 6 rounds, you win 5 of them. Then in the second half of the fight, you win 2. So that's 7-5. And then, like I said, there was one round that could have been a swing round. And then there was one round that could have been an even round. So therefore, even if you scored it even round or scored it in favor of Devin Haney, he still would have won that fight. So like I said, you can't even you can't find 7 rounds to give Lomachenko, or 8. So like I said before, people just don't know how to watch a fight and score a fight. I ain't even going, at the end of the day, dude, I'm trying to be cool with him, but dude is just, he just, just sad. But like I said before, I want somebody to explain to me how did Lomachenko win more than 5 rounds in that fight. And like I said, my posts have been up for a week now. I didn't close the comment section down. For all people will do is sit up here and be like, oh, Lomachenko got robbed. Okay, how he got robbed? Okay, what rounds you gave Lomachenko? What was your score? I flat out said from the gate. And anybody that was watching my videos when I was covering this fight live from Las Vegas, before they even announced the decision, look at my live. I said they're about to announce the decision. I said flat out, I said I had Devin Haney winning this fight 7 rounds to 5. Oh, I'm gonna talk about that. Well, the WBC can't show consistency. That's their problem. You knew when they got it right, they was gonna. The WBC specializes in right and wrong. But the funny thing is, like Boxing Ego said, it's amazing they don't want to make none of the black fighters franchise champions, but they will do it for the non-black. First of all, Lomachenko lost. He has no business being the number 1 contender. It should go to Shakur Stevenson. How in the hell do you bump Shakur Stevenson, who was gonna be the mandatory, and then you make Lomachenko the number 1 contender and he lost? And then every time I try to catch Mauricio Sullivan and ask him questions, I can't catch him. For a dude as big as he is, he can run. Well, black to black, there you go. Ask him, what rounds Lomachenko won? Ask him to explain to you what rounds did Lomachenko won. I'm trying to figure out of the first 6 rounds, Devin won 5 of them, clearly, with good counterpunching, a nice uppercut, using the jab, and great body shots. Okay. Devin Haney clearly won the 12th round. The seventh round could have went either way. Eighth round could have went either way. Ninth round, you might have went for possibly Lomachenko. 10th and 11 was clearly Lomachenko rounds. So once again, keep in mind, the champ should always get the benefit of the doubt. Lomachenko didn't try to take it. He tried to fight in spurs. He tried to rally. And then even towards closing the rounds, Devin Haney was closing the round strong, landing nice shots. The broadcast, like I said before, I think one of the reasons why people thought it was a robbery was based off the way Tim Bradley was calling the fight. And Tim Bradley was too emotionally invested in that fight, like he was purposely rooting for Lomachenko to win. And I think that's why a lot of the casuals was thinking that it was a robbery when it wasn't. And then Max Kellerman was out of his mind. Him and I don't know, Max Kellerman was scoring like some of those early rounds for Lomachenko. Max Kellerman was out of his damn mind, but we all knew that Max Kellerman was a Vasil Lomachenko nut hugger. Just like, but like I said, this whole robbery thing was asinine. It's not a robbery when it's a close fight. And that's what Andre Ward tried to explain on several outlets, but people had it in their mind, as I said before. They just went in there with the mindset that they wanted Vasil Lomachenko to win. They made the basically the pay-per-view. They made the pay-per-view basically about Lomachenko. All this stuff about Ukraine and all this stuff. And like I said, they wanted people to be like, well, when I was watching it, I say, okay, I know what they doing. See, I caught on to that early. I caught on to that stuff that ESPN was trying to do during the live pay-per-view broadcast. I said, okay, so they trying to get people basically emotionally invested in Lomachenko. And a lot of people fell for it. At the end of the day, the people that went there to watch that fight went there to see Devin Haney lose. And that's just factual. That's all it come down to. So that's why you seen all this negativity and all this stuff. As far as Leonard Ellaby go, Leonard Ellaby is just a hater. And that's all it come down to. That's one of the problems that I have with some of those dudes on the other side of the street. These are supposed to be black men, but then at the end of the day, they like to basically hate on people from their own community. And then when you call these guys out on that, then they want to play that, oh, well, it's not about color, it's about, okay. But then when something happened to one of your fighters, then all of a sudden you want to holler, hey, man, look how they treating black fighters. Look how they treating the brothers and all that kind of stuff. And like I said before, you saw the light in these fake ass so-called pro-black, boxing channels. Like I said, they was like, remember, they was calling Terrence Crawford top-ranked Toby. But then when Jim Crow Jerry Jones surfaced, they got quiet. And you even had people trying to take that Stephen A. Smith stance. Well, that was a long time ago. Fake ass niggas. And you know who they are. And then they was just trying to talk around it. Nobody wanted to have that conversation. But yet these are the same people that love to come on here and try to tell people like me, don't make this about race. So I'm going to keep exposing these dudes. But anyway, we sticking to that 250, 300,000. I don't care what Sir Knowles say. And this time I ain't for real. Leonard Ellaby need to quit hating, man. And that's just real talk. Anyway, this your boy Town. I'm out.